Hi everyone, my name is Haille Worrell. I'm with California Rural Indian Health Board. I'm the MAT Champion and Health Education Specialist under Project TMAT at CRIB. Today I'm going to be providing you with a brief training on how to use naloxone in an overdose situation. So first off, this is what naloxone looks like. There's 2 doses of naloxone in each kit, and this is what the actual nozzle looks like. So naloxone is used as a medication to reverse an opioid overdose. So it is an opioid antagonist. This means that the naloxone will bind to the receptors that are throughout your body. You have opioid receptors in your brain, you have them on your spine, you have them in your gastrointestinal tract, you have them on your organs, you have them everywhere. The naloxone will bind to these receptors and it will block and reverse the effects of opioids in your body. So what are opioids? I'm sure you guys have heard the term before, but opioids specifically are a class of drugs. They include the prescription drugs that your doctor prescribes you. They're used for chronic pain management and chronic pain treatment. Some common prescription drugs that you may have been prescribed may be Vicodin, morphine, Oxycontin. Opioids also include the legal drug heroin, as well as the prescription drugs that you're prescribed by your doctor. Opioids can be a good thing, and they can treat your pain, and they can manage your pain. However, they also can become very addictive. So some signs to look out for when someone is experiencing an opioid overdose are, number 1, their fingernails and lips may have a bluish or purplish tint to them. Number 2, the person is going to be unresponsive, most likely. So if you call their name or if you shout at them, shake their shoulder, they will not respond. Number 3, look at their breathing. Their breathing will be shallow. They may not be breathing at all. They may be unconscious. Also, you may hear a deep gurgling or snoring sound as well. So once you come to that conclusion that someone is experiencing an opioid overdose, you're going to want to call 911 right away. You want to make sure emergency personnel are on their way before you start to administer naloxone. Once that's done, you're going to want to lay the person on their back if they are not already on their back. Once they're on their back, you're going to want to grab the first dose of naloxone, insert the nozzle into their nose, and you're going to want to push. When the nozzle is inserted, you want to make sure that your fingers are forming a seal over their nose. You want to make sure not to prime the nozzle prior to actually using it when you need to. This can actually waste some of the dose of the naloxone, and it may not be as powerful when you are using it in an actual overdose situation. So that's important to know, not to prime prior to actually needing the naloxone. Once you administer the first dose, you want to take the nozzle out of the person's nose, and then you want to put that person into the recovery position. This is what the recovery position looks like. You want to make sure that their leg is at a 90-degree angle where it is supporting their body, so the body does not roll onto their stomach. You also want to make sure their hand or their arm is supporting their head. If the person does not show signs of consciousness within 2 to 3 minutes, you're going to have to administer a second dose of naloxone. To administer the second dose of naloxone, lay the person back onto their back and administer the second dose that comes in your kit. Repeat the same steps that we just discussed. Take your naloxone nozzle, put it into the nostril, and push. Make sure all of the dose is out. Take the nozzle out of their nostril and put them back into the recovery position. Once the person starts to show signs of consciousness, you're going to want to explain to them the situation that has just occurred. Explain to them that they were experiencing an overdose, that you've administered naloxone, and that 911 personnel are on their way. Make sure to stay with the person until emergency personnel arrive. Do not leave the person alone. Naloxone has no adverse effects. It can be used on any age. You cannot get high from naloxone. You cannot overdose on naloxone. It can save a life. If you're interested in naloxone or interested in a full training, feel free to contact me at the information below. I'm also going to be putting my colleagues' information in there. Send us an email, give us a call, and we could set up a training and get you some naloxone in your homes, in your workplace. I hope you learned something today, and thank you so much for watching.